In my family, we don't normally put up our Christmas tree until the fourth Sunday of Advent. Judging by the houses I pass when I walk along the street, it is later than most people. But we try and keep that sense that Christmas is a feast for which we wait. Having said that, at Liverpool Parish Church, our trees will go up this weekend, along with the Christmas crib. This is because for so many people, their time in church during Advent is their engagement with the Nativity, with the Incarnation. Whilst Christmas carol services are usually well attended, often church attendance on Christmas Day is lower than on a normal Sunday because people are celebrating with their friends and families. We could be censorious about that, but if we remember Christina Rossetti's poem Love Came Down at Christmas, then perhaps we should rejoice that people are experiencing the love they have with those who are close to them. Either way, let's think about what story we are telling to people who will be coming to carol services or just dropping in for a few minutes into churches across the UK throughout December. The message we give out, the preaching we think about, is often a bit confused as we try and work to a traditional story which has been given to us. When you walk in and see the crib, you will see that traditional arrangement of people and animals in a stable. This is supported by the readings which we have at carol services. Although each gospel writer has a strikingly different way of telling the story, and in fact conveys very different narratives as well, the elements come together to create that story with which we are all familiar. Very rarely do we pick apart the story and question the likelihood of the different elements, even though some are demonstrably implausible. The public face of the church clings to the picture of stables, mangers, shepherds and wise men, perhaps because it is fearful that to tinker with one element of the Christmas story would cause an exodus from Christmas services, or, still worse, the unpicking of the faith of many. But the truth is that very few people have a faith in God which is based upon the stories they hear. Rather, faith is almost always experiential. In Christianity, we often talk about experiencing the presence of God, and we locate this feeling within us. It is not externally referenced if our concept of God is, as Descartes suggests, an innate idea. Our knowledge of God comes from within us, from our relationship with our Creator. It is our articulation of God which is assisted by the experience of others, and that's captured in the Bible and in other places as we read about the journey of faith which others before have made, the relationship of faith between God and his people, and also the way which different people have told the story of their faith in the language of theology of different ages. However, if all we have to preach about is cows and donkeys in stables, then we're not actually communicating the sheer wonder of Christmas, which is about God becoming incarnate. That is a truly remarkable event because it completely turns our concept of humanity on its head. If our proclamation of the Incarnation becomes stuck in a back street of Bethlehem without actually exploring Incarnation, then we've failed in our task. If, though, we can use stories of stables, animals and stars as a route into the real significance of Christmas, perhaps use those stories as a signpost, then this is our moment of celebration. What we see at Christmas is that our humanity is not limited by its separation from God, because God himself became human. This explosion of barriers reveals the true potential of humans, which is to embody the love of God.